Ah, good afternoon. It's past the yard arm, so cheers. Today, I should be reading you from one of my poetry books. This one's called Every Picture Hides a Friend. I'll read that poem in a bit. It's book 4 on the series, and this is my first poem, because we can't get there at the moment, called IKEA Nightmares. Flat pack morning, car park full, pregnant women, minds of their own. Abandoned trolleys, items shouting, collect from somewhere, specific place unknown. Happy handheld couple, crying child running amok, multi-pack candles everywhere, thinking, will all parts fit? Strongman tactics, hernia in the waiting, pushing acrobatic trolley and sliding all parts into the car. 2 days later, smiling, sweating success, doors slide and cupboards stay upright, with all that load of cardboard recycled on the tip. Thank you. This one is a dedication to women. Bear in mind, it's Mother Earth. Women, whoever says you want equality when you easily rule our minds, it's as simple as a wooden abacus, historic control of man's demise. Let's face it, gentle folk, we haven't got a hope. Women are far too clever to give mankind a chance. This one is also called Women, Part 2. I take a bow and salute you. Blonde, brunette and blue rinse lot, you never fail to amuse me in my simple man-set way. If ever we were meant to think alike, the world might turn upside down. Don't talk about premenstrual, son, you'll never figure it out. And mood swings and silent nods are as common as a cloudy day. Yet beauty brains whilst multitasking is a task they take to hand. Who looks after a man better than a woman filled with pride? They can play at being a latch-on, they can easily run the nest. Depending on where they wear or camouflage with success, a woman will always stop a man and secretly take a look. Who are you kidding, I'd like to state? We're all real men who like lots of legs and cleavage. A tight derriere will always bring the sunshine out on the rainiest of days. Sorry. And the next one. Invasion. Now this was after I had an extension built on my house and it was chaos. But it's called Invasion. There was a banging and a clattering and a steel hammer being struck at the gate that would not give. Correction. It's not about my house at all. It's about the gypsies. There was a banging and a clattering, a steel hammer being struck at the gate that would not give. A professional gang of travellers with caravans, cars and vans invaded the residential play area for their benefit on wayside ways. Blocking roads and pavements, they assaulted with incredible haste, filling the field in minutes, turning a games area into a traveller's sight. Minutes later, blue flashing light. 2 officers stared out before them. Taking on 100 would not be a pretty sight. Every van was sparkling, cars looking almost brand spanking new. Burberry-clad children, 2 dray horses and a foal, all gathering on the field. Semi-clad stocky tinkers debating what next to do. Councillors spoke and knocked on doors. The school had scored an own goal. No fencing gates or security, just old-fashioned public trust. While the tinkers laughed, stuffed black bags and sticking fingers up at legal society. Dogs barking in the morning and yapping through the night. They drove around the playing field, carving tracks with sheer delight. We promised to monitor them and stop them from landing by. That's not true, I spied, as 3 more parked up in full view. 10 days they'd been there, and that's how long I sat, not moving from my homestead and protecting what I own. If I'd have driven on the field, a rollicking I would have met, and maybe prosecuted and fined as well as that. But these lot know how to play the system and protect their human rights. Irish Reg and Essex lads drove freely through day and night. The law lets them do it. The law must be put right. Thank you. How about ironing? I bet you've all had to do your ironing with this lockdown. And, or not, who knows. But this is called ironing. One of my pastimes being left-handed. I think not. I hate ironing. I really do. It's all right-handed. A chore a snake charmer can undo. It steams and hisses, dripping water on the floor. Twisted numbers, mega hot, and shirts that want to fight back by diving onto the floor. Woe betide the duvet cover that will not fall in line. In a pillowcase's flutter and crease abandoned on the floor, and the iron sits waiting to inflict a steam-filled fright. Yes, I hate the bloody ironing. Now don't start me on metal hangers, because I'll be ranting through the night. Short and sweet. This is called A Hem Too Far, all about observation. There I was, minding my own business, glass of cider in hand. In walks a red short skirt with long legs and black high heels. What are you looking at? She said. Your hem is hanging down, I smiled. She walked away disgruntled, having lost the battle of the sexes. Yes. We went to a club, invited actually to a club to speak, and we were heckled within minutes because everyone was given 5 minutes, and we, as two of us called Incredible Fake Twins, were allowed 10 minutes. But after 2, somebody objected. We were also told that we weren't allowed to be rude. So I wrote this. Keep it clean. I hear what you say. Is that my mind, my thoughts, or my shoes? Is a hem too short or a blouse too tight? Or is trousers bulging in just the right place? No smut, no filth, no reference to policies, challenging society, bland liberal behaviour patterns. I'll keep it so clean, it's totally non-obscene. Yet what is left to be said? Oh, cojones to that. I'm going back to my bed. As you get older and you look in the mirror, you can't help but think you see somebody from your past. For example, I saw my dad in the mirror. Who am I? I open my eyes. My father reflects back at me through the mirror. He'll always be older than me, for I am young inside this shell. What words describe me, and who sees me as I see myself? Am I really that height and size? I don't feel that tall. Little overweight, perhaps. Am I one person with one goal? Or do I throw many ideas high in the sky, waiting to see what lands? I am a father, a husband, a shoulder for some, a son and a loner all rolled into one. For who am I? Honestly, I just don't know. I'll give you a couple more, and then we'll end it there. So the title of this book is Every Picture Hides a Friend. And this is the piece I wrote called Every Picture Hides a Friend. I was sitting in my lounge looking at all the paintings because I used to own an art gallery. And I looked around, and several of the pictures were of friends of mine who are no longer here. Sadly, their art remains and the memories remains, but they themselves. Every picture hides a friend. Surrounding oneself in paintings, each with tales to tell, my friends are calling from the walls with stories full of me. My artists and mentors are watching whilst I'm sitting in my lounge. Sadly, some are here no more, hidden behind the prison frame, proudly hanging on a hook or nail. Full colour, black and white, daubed on canvas, paper and wood. They're completely covered in life's sweet thoughts, with their reflections shining through. Every picture hides a friend. Make every brush mark count. A painting lasts forever, it seems. A memory will never fade out. A troon is a canvas with many notes. Sing louder and your painting will shout out. I have an opinion about legal drugs, which people get prescribed, especially when it's to deal with things like depression and nervous breakdowns and such. Now, don't get me wrong, I know some of them are very helpful, but a lot just mask the problem and they don't get to the source or get to the issue. And sadly, my brother was labelled ischemic heart disease as a reason for why he died. It was absolutely down to the medication he was given that killed him ahead of his time. So this piece is called Ischemic Heart Diseases. A label hiding too many truths, doctors prescribing medicines, justifying their archaic ways. Trust me, I'm a doctor. No, I cannot any more. You've hidden the death sentence in your wisdom, issuing green orders for the chemist. Is this legal drug pushing, accepted by one and all? Money-making conglomerates clap their hands in glorious profits, while the family clap their hands in grief, asking, why did this happen to me? Finding out so much later, you're not on your own. The death bell tolls for far too many who listened in blinded dismay. 'Tis time to stop this genocidal destruction and treat the symptoms that you cannot see, instead of suppressing the conditions with labels including insanity. Now, if I stand up, you won't see me in the camera, but this piece is called To Bath or Not to Bath, because the bath we had in this house before we changed it was one I could not get out of, which is why I rarely had a bath and had a shower. So, to bath or not to bath? That is the question. I'm 6'3", that's plain to see. I bought a house that really suits me, apart from the bath. Well, you're having a laugh. It's made for one who's only 5'3". I'm stuck, I cried out in dismay. What's up, my wife said eventually. I can't get out, the bath's too small. She laughed so much at my expense. Bend your knees and you'll get up. I can't, said I. I'm truly stuck. Laughter and water is not so good for resolving disputes like you ought to or should. Or get another bath a little larger. Or shower, my dear. It's so much easier instead. And this piece, the last one I read from this book, is all about dancing. It's called Dancing Again. I do have 2 left feet. Flares just scare me. Sequined blouses with padded shoulders, large gold chains and hairy chests poking, and everybody smoking and eyeing up the candy at an 80s disco night. Watch the hips swaying, dad dancing quite amazing, plastic clutch bags on the floor, dancing round in stocking feet, soggy footprints everywhere, shoes abandoned and loads of hair, flashing lights and neon tubes, revealing underwear white and nude. Don't forget the dandruff brigade, settling on their velvet jackets and glowing in the ultraviolet light, chat-up lines and rejected dudes, too much alcohol and queues to the loo, spinning mirror balls and flashing lights, music pulsing louder than the thunder strike. Alas, this place is not for me, a cattle market with a lack of integrity. Men's cologne and clouds of scent disguises sweating bodies, liquids, vents. It's Saturday night, it's supposed to be all right. I swig my drink and vanish into the night. I'll go on, just one more then. Everybody knows how many lines are in a sonnet. Well, not this one. So this is titled Sonnets Not Quite Right. Shakespeare was a poet, of that there is no doubt. Who taught him to write those sonnets? Methinketh it was aliens from a distant hidden planet. And what about the genres, the rhymes and the beat? A load of mumbo-jumbo, just metaphors and stamping your feet. Poetry tumbling in motion, not moving in outer space. Have you tried some reading and performing instead of criticising and bemoaning? So to all you aspiring poets, write whatever floats your boat. It might be romantic or floral, ere a romp in a majestic park. And as for 16 lines, my dearies, who's counting? Soddeth it all, I say. Thank you. So, that's me. That's me. This is me saying thank you. My book's available on Amazon, and I'll be back with another chapter of my No Naked Walls very soon.